Our first story is titled, Am I the A-hole for turning down my sister asking me to be her maid of honor in her wedding? I, 25 female, have a sister, 28 female, who's getting married next year. Just last week, she asked me to be her maid of honor, and I said I wouldn't be able to do it, but thank you for the offer. Now she's upset. She wanted 6 bridesmaids and her maid of honor, and as her only sister, she said she wanted me to do it. After that conversation, she ran and told our mom, who asked me why I would say no to something like that, and I told her it was not something I felt I could take on at this time. The truth is, I would never be her maid of honor or bridesmaid in a million years. She will use me and her other bridesmaids in other ways to make us look awful so she can look better. She did it once. I was 15 and she was turning 18, and she decided to have this huge party that was even bigger than her 16th and her 21st. She, and my mom, made me wear this dress chosen by her that was ugly. It was ruffles and unflattering to my body shape, and she did that so she could look better. She did the same with her 2 best friends, who were in all the photos with her. She is planning to do the same thing for her wedding. I already know this, and I won't pay for a dress that makes me look awful. I won't do my hair in a way that makes it look awful. I won't wear makeup that doesn't compliment me just for her. I made that mistake once for a family wedding. She did my makeup and hair, and I will never forget how embarrassed I was. I don't want to give this reason because they will say I am overreacting. But our cousin, who got married the time I mentioned above, even told me she knew it was done intentionally because she used to do it to her too. They're the same age and went to school together, and she messed up her prom makeup so she, my sister, would look better than our cousin. Am I the a-hole for saying no to being my sister's maid of honor? I decided to edit this because I am starting to struggle a bit, and this is bringing up bad memories for me. I am reflecting on what I want moving forward and what is best. Most people have said I am not the a-hole, but quite a few say I suck for not caring more about my sister and not putting the past behind us and letting her have her day, and I know I can't do that. I can't forever be the fat sister who gets reminded of it every time her wedding comes up, both before and after her big day. All I have ever been is the fat sister, the one who looked ridiculous at her birthday. The one who was the joke between 4 different people for weeks after her cousin's wedding because she trusted her sister had grown. I can't stand the thought of standing next to a person who has called me her fat sister to my face, and who has said it to others directly in front of me. The truth is, I used to hate myself. I have felt gross and ugly most of my life, and I am finally in a better place, and this is dragging me back down. That's the main story. Now let's read the top comments. Not the a-hole. What the hell kind of manipulative, insane woman is your sister? How bad can your self-image be if you have to choose to make other people look bad to feel better about yourself? If I were you, I would show up in the nicest dress looking good as hell just to give her a little taste of it. That's my plan, if I'm not told to stay away before then. Lol. As long as your beautiful dress is not white, you're not the a-hole. Do her other bridesmaids know what they're in for? Maybe show them the picture evidence or have your cousin to talk to them to prove it. Not the a-hole. No is a good answer. You don't have to do something just because someone asks you to. Your reason, in this case, is mind-boggling. Why would anyone say yes to that? It sounds like you are dodging a hell of a bullet. It's too bad you can't tell them the truth, but that's just going to cause more dreams and more ugliness. So not the a-hole. 2 of the friends are just like her, so they probably do it because they'll retaliate. The rest are just looking to be punished. I mean, I could, but it would be the nuclear option and end any relationship, and sometimes that is tempting because she uses me a lot of her crap. I'm curvier and was always the bigger sister, which she loves to use in her favor. She sounds ridiculously insecure. There's no reason at all to put yourself through that. She is. She's also malicious, which feeds into the insecurity. I won't lol, trust me. Now for the second story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my sister-in-law keep my jewelry that she wore for her wedding, even though she's having a daughter? My sister-in-law is actually married to my half-brother, but for the post's sake, I'll just refer to him as my brother. We have the same mother, different fathers. My brother was from my mom's first marriage, and there's a 16-year age gap between us. He's 33, I'm 17, so we don't have a sibling relationship, we're more like cousins. We see each other a few times a year and have a good relationship, but we aren't super close. My mom died when I was 6, so I don't have many memories with her. However, she left me all of her jewelry with a handwritten note about the significance of each piece. My paternal family is somewhat wealthy, so a lot of the jewelry actually gifts from my dad/grandparents to her or paternal heirlooms. Since I have so few memories of my mom, I really treasure her jewelry. Going through life knowing that she's missing so many of my milestones is devastating. So I like to wear her jewelry during big events so that it's like she's with me. My brother and sister-in-law got married last year. They're upper middle class, but my sister-in-law wanted a really lavish wedding that they couldn't necessarily afford. My paternal family gifted them a large sum of money, and I offered to let my sister-in-law borrow some of my jewelry to wear for the wedding instead of the costume jewelry she was going to wear. It was a nice way to integrate my mom's memory into the wedding and also be something borrowed. She was super excited and ended up picking out a set of pearl jewelry that were presents from my paternal grandparents to my mom for her wedding. She also chose a diamond brooch/hairpiece that my mom and paternal grandma designed together using diamonds from the earrings she wore in my parents' wedding, both of my grandma's engagement rings, and some other paternal heirloom diamonds. They designed it together after I was born, intended for me. After the wedding, my sister-in-law tried to keep the jewelry since she claimed it was now more sentimental to her. I said no, but my brother told me to give her them since they're from his mom too. But I don't think that's fair, since the jewelry has no significance for his paternal family. They keep pestering me whenever we meet, even though I told them no. Now, my sister-in-law is pregnant, and the baby is a girl. She messaged me with a list of jewelry she wanted from my collection because she wanted my niece to have them. That included all of the above jewelry, some other jewelry my mom left me, and also some pieces from my personal collection. My brother and sister-in-law think that I need to give my niece the jewelry since she's the girl of the family. If my niece wanted to borrow the same jewelry her mom wore for her wedding, which won't even be for like 20 years, I'd gladly let her. But I don't want to give away these important signifiers of my mom. They're calling me a selfish a-hole since my niece won't have any inherited jewelry from her paternal family. I could definitely afford to give the jewelry away or buy more. But I don't want to, and I won't. Am I the a-hole? Edit. Thanks for everyone's comments. To clear up some confusion, the jewelry is in my possession right now, so don't worry. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. That is your property, and they have no right to demand you give it to them. That is ridiculous. The longer you put off getting the jewelry, the more they feel it belongs to them. Get it back now. Go to them and tell them to give you the jewelry. Absolutely. The post literally states this jewelry was created for OP after she was born. OP, get it back and never let your sister-in-law lay eyes on your jewelry or even know where it is kept. If you don't already have a lock on your door, get one and keep it locked at all times. You cannot trust either of them. They both think they are entitled to it. Also, never loan another piece. Next time, you may never get it back. Not the a-hole. Get a safe box and put the jewelry there, just in case. It sounds like they're not stopping anytime soon until they get that jewelry. It's yours, and you were super gracious by letting sister-in-law borrow your jewelry. They should have returned that to you immediately. Yes, there will be a girl in the family, but you have a greater right to it by being your mom's daughter. As someone else said, you can let your niece borrow it whenever she's 18 or so, but right now, I don't feel as your brother and sister-in-law have the best intentions with it. It doesn't sound like they're doing it for the sentimental value. So don't give in, you have every right to it. That's what I was thinking. OP should also take pictures of each piece of jewelry, make an inventory of them, and find a way to get as much documentation as possible proving that she is the owner of the jewelry. Now for the final story. Am I the a-hole for reminding an ex-friend she slept with her best friend's husband when she insulted my morals? I was friends with Summer, 29 female, for a little over a year when she broke things off. I guess I wasn't supportive like she wanted me to be. I'll admit I wasn't. At the time, around the end of our friendship, I had to endure a very traumatic experience that controlled my life. Selfishly, I couldn't manage anything, not even friendship. I did apologize to Summer and explain what happened. She didn't understand, but instead called me a horrible friend and hated me. I knew a lot of Summer's history, more than I wanted to know honestly. One of the big things was she had slept with her best friend's husband a year ago. It resulted in her friendship ending, these two divorcing and Summer's husband almost leaving her. She's not sympathetic or regretful. She's just ashamed of it. Well, one of our shared friends, Lindsay, invited me over while watching Summer's kids. I was like an aunt to those kids and was just glad to see them. Summer wasn't happy when she found out and ranted about me to Lindsay for a whole good half an hour. To sum it up, she said I was a horrible person who can't work on their personal issue, and she didn't want her kids around someone so unstable and had no morals. I was just sitting there silently, letting her scream, but that part made me laugh because of the irony. I blurted out she was the one who slept with a married man, the husband of her once best friend, so it's amusing she judges my morals. Summer's husband was there. He walked out fuming while Summer began to hysterically cry. I walked out with no regret until I got home and realized it was a low blow. I took something she was ashamed of and something her husband obviously hasn't forgive, but then a part of me thinks good, she deserves it. Was I the edit? Thank you for the judgment, everyone. Someone requested I add this to help those comments. Lindsay was watching Summer's kids that day and forgot we had also made plans. When I arrived, everything was in shambles and Lindsay was freaking out. For the safety of all of us, I would have just left, but due to the mess, I stayed and helped get things uncontrolled. Summer arrived earlier than expected and found me there. My intent was to get the F out of there, but Summer's car was blocking mine from leaving. I asked her to move so I could go, but she said not until I heard what she had to say. That proceeded into the 30-minute screaming session. I had the kids go outside and play while she began screaming. Now let's hear what the top comments has to say. Not the a-hole. Was that old saying about people who live in glass houses? They shouldn't be a-holes? I'm pretty sure it's people who live in glass houses shouldn't be a-holes. Let someone take a wrecking ball to said house. But seriously, not the a-hole. She doesn't get to rant about something you did without taking responsibility for things she did. And honestly, if she truly doesn't have regrets or sympathy about what she did, it sounds more like she's ashamed she got caught, as opposed to ashamed she did it in the first place. Plus, the something you did is such nonsense to get angry about. She went through a tragedy and fell off the friendship radar for a few months. What an immoral C. Jesus F. Christ. Lady, get over yourself. Not the a-hole. So many good sayings applying here. Don't dish it out if you can't take it. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Pot, meat, kettle. Glasses, houses. Point one finger and find three pointing back at you. Stupid game, stupid prizes. Take your pick, really. Not the a-hole. Summer sounds like an emotional vampire. She's married with kids, befriends 18 to 19-year-old you, uses you as her confidant for her unsavory deeds, then gets upset when you have your life dramas. Summer owed you an apology for entangling you and all that. In this recent incident, you responded to her unprovoked attack with the truth. You are in no way to blame for what happens with her husband. And that's the end of this video, guys. Share us your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.